Hey everybody, welcome to the show Just Man Rises. I'm your host, Tyrone Downs, and thank you for joining again this week. As you know, I got 3 links in the description box below. As I told you before, reading the Bible is your most important weapon, tool, equipping device that we have. And so, first part is to join with me on reading the Bible. Of course, I am already 200 some days in. So granted, if you join with me now, you'll still get a chance to be a part of my lessons. And so just take part in that. I can't encourage you enough to read getting your word on a daily basis. The second link is for the shirts, Just Man Rises t-shirts. Just Man Rises. The third link is the link for Pay Him Enough is Enough, the book, his turn. Well, let's get into the lesson. All right, today's lesson comes from Romans 14. This is one of my favorite passages, and it's going to be a short lesson today because it is very straightforward. I mean, hopefully that you got a Bible that you can understand. Hopefully you get on your phone and you can get different versions and check out the version. Today I'm reading from the English Standard Version, but the King James Version, although it's not that big a difference because this is just as plain as we can put it. And I think that a lot of the religions, a lot of the people have kind of overlooked this chapter in Romans because it breaks down plainly the differences in the religions. It talks about them particularly, and mainly it uses something simple to talk about it. Talk about food, talk about days of worship. It even talks about wine. If you like to use wine, it literally says it. If someone does it, someone doesn't do it. What happens? What is it? What's the reason of it? How is it looked at? And so we can read a few passages just to get us an idea on what's going on. But I'm gonna give you a few minutes, however long it take. Pause right here, and read Romans 14. All right. Thank you for pausing and reading it. And for those of you reading this on the go or you listen to this on the go, definitely take your time. When you get back to your settled place or you got a moment to go read Romans 14, it is crucial. So I'm not going to go over every single verse. And so we can definitely look at that and go from there. But I know people on the go, YouTube is available anywhere, anytime. So definitely. So let's look at a few things. As I said, mainly it's talking about eating and drinking. And notice in the verses, it doesn't call why you eat or why you drink religious activity. It calls of the faith. Whatever you believe and how you believe, God is guiding you. And that's why I said it's so important that we get closer to God. And then God has already given us, we just have to hear it correctly, what we should be doing and how we should be doing it. And so what the religions have, what we have done in religion, because I've been a part of it also. We have made our differences bigger than what's keeping us together, especially the Protestant. We've made things like the day we worship, how we worship, and things like that bigger than what is keeping us together, which is the kingdom message. Jesus giving us the kingdom message. Jesus dying on the cross and being rose again, apart to get us the kingdom message. We put that on the back burner as we're divided. The most divided place, mostly in America, is on Sundays. We have different types of environment and we worship different. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that we have that before what is the goal and purpose of what we're doing. So I'll read a few verses that we're going to look at it. So it says, let us not, verse 3 in chapter 14, it said, let not the one who eats despise the one who abstains, and let not the one who abstains pass judgment on the one who eats, for God has welcomed him. It's just simple. There are certain religions that don't eat certain things. They can't eat this, they can't eat that, and which is fine. The goal of what they're saying is that we aren't to be, that shouldn't be the thing that causes us not to serve or worship with them because they eat or not eat something. And causes us to look at ourselves and say we are not going to be the stumbling block. We're not going to cause someone to go away because of how we're eating or how we're drinking. That is key. So here's another one, verse 5. One person esteems one day as better than another, while the other esteems all days alike. Each one should be fully convinced in his own mind. The one who observes the day, observe in honor of the Lord. The one who eats and eats in honor of the Lord, since he gives thanks to God, while the one abstains in honor of the Lord and gives thanks to God. I'm not gonna read anymore. That verse 6 explains everything that's happening in this chapter 14. But chapter 14 is going to give you every side of it. The side that eats, the side that doesn't eat, the side that goes on this day, the side that goes on that day. As long as you do it in honor of God, because that is what you see fit to do, that's what you should be doing. And then as it continues, it tells us that, hey, how should we treat someone? Should treat them no different. And that's what it explains. Like, hey, he's saying it's none of your business why or how they worship on Sunday, or if they worship on Sunday or Saturday, or if they're eating this or that, or if they have dress clothes on or this on and that. Like, it's not our concern. And it says that if you do it in honor of God. If you don't do it, you do it in honor of God. But I am going to talk about one other verse, and then I'm just going to be a really short lesson today, because I believe God has made it so plain to us in this. The very last verse. Now, hopefully you can see this verse. The very last verse in Romans 14 literally says, but whoever has doubts is condemned if he eats, because he's eating it not from faith. But this is the last part that I was. But for whatever does not proceed from faith is sin. Here's the thing. Like, make sure you're doing it because of your closeness with God. That's why we've been doing this series on getting closer to God. Because when we get closer to God, we're gonna see of the message that He sent down through Jesus was a kingdom message. And yes, Jesus had to die for us to get this message, get our authority back. But the message was that He brought the kingdom. He's been wanting to bring His kingdom on earth, and He had to do it at a certain time. We have to get close to Him and realize of how we need to fit in this world, in this earth. Because He put us down here to work. That's the first thing He gave Adam, was to work. To work. Work this garden. Work this place. And what happened when religion came in, we constricted God to Sunday, Wednesday, or even if we did service all week, we restricted Him to those hours. And so we totally missed the point that He wanted us to have Him in our daily lives every day. Even the Lord's Prayer talks about daily all the time. And we think that He's not a part of what we do and how we work, how we eat, how we sleep, what day we do it. And He said, whatever does not come from faith is what's that sin. That is the key part. Like, what is your closest to God bringing you to do? How is He bringing you to worship? And so if you are called to be in the congregation, participating in the congregation, then do that, because that's what you've been called to do. If you're called to receive your word from a different platform, especially now in today's society, in today's technological advances, that someone's ability that God put on this earth has given us to do, then you do that. And if you're not doing it of what your faith is, then that's where the sin comes in. The sin is not doing those things in themselves, but if you do it in the wrong motive for some other reason other than the faith that God is putting you, then that's where the sin comes in. So, like I said, very quick session today. I'm not going to take it any more than that. Last week it was chapters 12, 13. Today is 14. Just look at these chapters. These are very practical chapters. They're not mystical and all crazy or anything. They're just straight up. If you believe that you should be doing it on this day or that day, you do it on those days. If you should think you should not eat this or not eat that, you should do it on that days. And if you want to look at it, it says wine. You want to eat, you want to drink wine or whatever. It says you can do it. The only sin comes in is that when it says to be drunk. Now, I'll leave you with that. I pray blessings on all of you that get a chance to watch the episode. Please like and share. It does a big part of getting it out to more people that look at what you look at. Thank you, and have a blessed day.